Let's talk, though, investing in times of volatility. Mark Ein joins us now. He's CEO at Capitol Investment Corp, and he's at the forefront of investing in tennis as well as esports. So it's a good time to have you on, given what's happening. Nadal, I guess you saw there was a little bit of a scare. That former champion, Cilic, right?
Yeah, Cilic is tough. He can beat anyone on a given day, but Rafa showed why he's in top form.
Yeah, the last two sets, 6-1, 6-2 or
yeah.
something. So not everyone knows about your involvement, I think, in team tennis, and that you trying to make money, or is it just your love of tennis combined with being a venture capitalist?
Yeah, I mean, I love the sport. I think it's a great sport. I think it's a great sport for kids, and anyone can play it, and male and female. So I'm a real big proponent of it. I've invested in team tennis for the last 12 years, and then we bought the Washington, D.C. tournament earlier this year, which just concluded in August. So it's a great sport. I do think there's some good business opportunities in the sport as well, but it really is passion.
I mean, I know you want to be close to your businesses and stuff, but you're a ball boy at the tournaments still, or is that?
So I actually was a ball kid.
Oh, you were?
I was when I was a kid.
This is when you were young. Okay, all right.
I was a kid, and then the tournament was potentially going to leave town.
At that tournament, right?
I was at that exact tournament. So actually, I had a meeting with the ball kids this year before our finals, and they said they only have one request. They want me to be a ball kid again next year. And so I agreed to do it. And then someone chimed in that they're trying to get ARP to be a sponsor, and maybe we could do a tie-in with that. And so maybe we'll do that next year.
I mean, I love those kids because they want that ball.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if a kid is like not really that into it and he's like, like barely going over? I mean, that would be, put that on SNL maybe.
It's actually a great way for young kids to get to be part of the sport and get up close. But it really did inspire my love for tennis. Having that involvement and actually a lot of people, both pros like Roger Federer was a ball kid, and a lot of people get involved later in life started as a ball kid.
What do you think you have to do to make tennis even more popular? Like, what's holding it back? If you could change something about the game right now, what would you do?
So one of the great benefits of tennis is all the traditions in it. I think if you really want to make it more widely appealing, you'd probably change things up a bit more. Maybe make it a bit shorter. Make the sets a bit shorter. Make the set shorter. The matches a little bit shorter. Create more big moments rather than fewer big moments. But I'm not sure that I don't think the sport will ever decide to do it. And one of the things that makes it great are these epic battles that everyone falls in love with. So that's the balance you're trying to weigh.
It is. There's times when it's just a dominant player versus someone who doesn't have a chance. It gets a little bit.
Yeah.
But you never know when someone's going to start challenging. Like, the latest is Taylor Townsend. Did you see her?
She's great. And there's this whole next generation of amazing players. Coco Gauff and Taylor Townsend.
She beat the Wimbledon champ, Simone, right?
She did. She beat Simona Halep. And, that was Taylor Townsend.
It was so tense at the end of that match when she was trying to finally close. So it can be really compelling.
At the highest levels, tennis is one of the great sports anywhere. It's one of the great businesses anywhere. The big events are some of the great sports businesses anywhere. The battles, the Federer-Djokovic Wimbledon final are as good as any sports events you'll ever see. The U.S. Open is the highest attended annual sporting event in the world. And so the sport is amazing, and it's very strong globally. Yeah. And I think the key is just to grow it throughout the year and make more events big. Like
Serena's ranked 8th, but she's probably going to win. I mean, I don't know why she's 8th. And then Djokovic has now withdrawn from every major with an injury at some point. Did that look the other night like he was fine the match before that, but then he wouldn't really talk about the shoulder.
His shoulder had been bothering him the whole week.
He's so good. He's so competitive. Yeah. When he starts doing drop shots, he never does that. He chases down. All right, we'll get to IPOs now. You want to get to IPOs?
I want to talk IPOs.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
SPACs.
Okay, go ahead. Go.
2 minutes here.
Go.
Tell me, we got
the middle of the tournament.
We got Peloton coming up. We have a whole number of big IPOs on the docket.
Yeah.
Would you buy any of them?
Depends on the price. So it depends.
That's a fair answer, but
it depends. It depends where they come. I mean, but that really is the answer for me to these companies. I mean, these are really amazing businesses, and it really depends on.
Okay, so is WeWork an amazing business? That's a real question.
There's elements of it that are an amazing business.
Okay, you read S1s though for a living. There's a lot of people look at that S1 and say, "Woo, there's stuff in there that does not that makes them anxious."
I think that's a fair point. There are. And even as a customer, we've been a customer of some of our businesses that we work in. The rates you get relative to what you can get in other places makes you wonder a little bit about the core economics. But they have a huge platform. It's growing like crazy. And they got to get public. They got to get capital to continue to fuel this growth.
Okay, Peloton. You a Peloton user?
I am a Peloton user. I love.
Would you buy that? Would you want the stock too?
I hate to say it really depends on the price. I mean, these are great businesses. I prefer to get involved earlier in a company's life cycle than at this point in a company's life cycle.
You're a SPAC guy, special purpose vehicles. These are blank check companies often. Yeah. What did you make of the Chamath Richard Branson transaction around Virgin Galactic?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's actually a really interesting use of a SPAC because it's a company that probably would access the public markets as well in a SPAC as it would in a traditional IPO. It's also pretty early business, so it would be hard for it to go public the traditional way. And between Chamath and Richard Branson, I think they'll generate a lot of interest in it.
That's a deal that gets done because typically there's a vote that happens.
It just depends on how much of the proceeds they need to have to close, because you can close them if you don't get all the proceeds, and the vote will happen. The question is how much of the proceeds they'll end up getting. Proceeds
for themselves. You're talking about the promote, if you will.
No, because investors actually can ask for their money back. And so often in deals, you don't get 100% of the cash in trust. You get some of it, but you still close the deal with less.
Interesting.
But interestingly, SPACs, now there's $18 billion of SPACs and 75 vehicles looking for deals. So it's going to be a very robust part of the capital markets for a long time.
Interesting. Mark, thank you.
So who's going to win, Mark, in the men's? You figure it'll be Federer or Nadal?
Let's hope for a Federer-Rafa final. It never happened at the U.S. Open.
Did you see Wawrinka?
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Unbelievable.
He is. Hard to bet against Rafa the way he's playing. But just a Rafa-Federer final and Serena-Andreescu final, and it'd be an amazing weekend.
You think Federer should have not gone with Unique Loan, should have gone with Nike a year later?
Hard to turn down. No, I think it's hard to turn down $300 million for 10 years when you have 3 or 4 years left in your career.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.